Welcome back. I'm in the studio with Resenga Maluleke, the Statistician General, and we're looking at the various reports that they compile and what they mean for South Africa as we move forward, and on the back of the State of the Nation address by the President. Now, if you take the basket of all the surveys that you conduct, to your mind, which one do you think causes the most concern we should be paying particular attention to?
I'm a statistician in official practice team, so I have no taste buds. It's like asking a parent which of their children they love the most.
Yeah.
All these numbers are critical and important for me to illuminate whether things are showing progress or whether there are challenges. The role of the Statistician General is to make them available to the nation. I know that policymakers, when they see a number on economy, on youth unemployment...
I'll tell you why I ask you that question. I mean, listening to all the numbers that you shared with us and the reports that you referenced earlier on, right? One can conclude or would conclude and say South Africa is like a welfarist state. If that is the case, then the question becomes, is the economy performing in a sustainable manner to manage and provide the kind of support that it has to provide to those who live below the poverty line? That is the view I would form on the basis of the information.
Firstly, the NDP says that we should be growing the economy at about 5%. The National Development Plan again reminds us that by the year 2020, unemployment should be sitting at 14%. And by 2030, unemployment should be sitting at 6%. It's 2019 now.
Yeah.
Unemployment is sitting at 27.6%. I'm not a Sangoma. I can't throw bones and tell you whether it will decline to 14%
yes.
by next year.
Yes.
But certainly the public can see that it's actually not declining.
Yes.
Unemployment is rising. Look at young people, for example, aged 15 to 24 years. Those people in that age cohort, there are about 10.3 million of them in South Africa. About 3.4 million of those are not in employment, education and training.
Which already speaks for itself, that they will not have the requisite skills, I suppose, come the time when we're talking fourth industrial revolution, which we are living in now. And if they're not receiving any education and training, then they will not be adequately skilled to take up whatever positions that may come. I'm going to be talking to economists in a short while. I'm going to put this to them, what they think. I mean, you say, according to the NDP, unemployment, and that's why I smiled earlier on, should be at 14% levels. Currently, it's sitting at 27 plus level, right? 27% level. Obviously, to achieve that, you need substantial economic growth that is not happening already, as per your statistics of earlier this year.
It's not only our statistics of earlier this year. If you look, speculation and kind of projections on economic growth have always had to be revised by those that are in the policy space, the National Treasury, the Reserve Bank, and other agencies have had to revise from time to time as we make our numbers available. Firstly, we make our numbers on the economy from the side of the production side, and you can see the structure of our economy. The first of nominal GDP, finance takes the first space. Finance, real estate, and other businesses like consultancy take about 20%. If you look at government, it accounts for about 18–19%. Now, when you go down to look at manufacturing and mining accounts for about 8%. It vacillates between 8 and 11%. Manufacturing is sitting at 15%. Sometimes it rises to 18%. And this is an area that when looking at 1994, manufacturing was your #1 share of the nominal GDP. Now it's #4 in terms of the nominal GDP.
I want to talk about the move away from the economy a little bit and talk about the personal safety of citizens, because you do have those numbers as well, right? Let's look at the crime statistics for now, South Africa regarded as one of the most violent societies in the world during peacetime. Is that view fair, you think? How many people get murdered per day, and how many of those cases get solved by the criminal justice system?
There is a difference between the measurement that we provide as, let's say, and the solutions that are provided by the criminal justice system in our country. But the numbers are there to show. Firstly is that the people out there in the society indicate that they stay very far away from police stations, especially in rural areas. But they do trust the police. Our statistics are showing that in some provinces particularly, they in your provinces like your Mpumalanga, in your Northern Cape and the like, they trust the police. But also 45% of our population indicates that they don't trust the entire criminal justice system. Now let us look at numbers. Our statistics are showing that about 800,000 cases or crime incidents occur per annum. Of those, about 445 are the ones that get reported to the police stations. And those that end up with arrests are about 80%. So it's about a tenth of those crime incidents that have occurred. And only about 16,000 end up in convictions. And when you look at that, it does show that the criminal justice system is actually stacked with a lot of challenges. But if you ask me again, Tim, there's a lot being said that we are one of the most violent nations on earth. It's because we make these figures available to the public.
Yes, yes.
Other nations don't. South Africa, the crime statistics are released every year by the SAPS. Every year, but they only talk of statistics of reported cases that have reached their police stations. We also release the victims of crime. We are one of the few countries that has this two form of cohorts that we release these numbers on. Some nations don't release these numbers. So it may be good to say South Africa is the most violent, one of the most violent, but it's because we illuminate the issues.
Then, obviously, these numbers must inform how we budget. And we know, and we've heard that the police are under-serviced or under provided for in terms of the financial resources and the manpower that they need. With these statistics, then, what can we do? I mean, you've said already that you are not a Sangoma yourself, right? And I move to the issue of the migration, people who live in South Africa. Many South Africans are of the view that you and the government are hiding the information of the commission of crimes by foreign nationals who are in the country illegally.
The Statistician General has never hidden any figures, and I'm not of any view or haven't learned of any efforts by government to hide the numbers that or crimes that are committed by citizenry or non-citizenries in the country. If that was happening, we would pick it up ourselves from the victims of crime, because the victims of crime always tell us the incidents. That's why we are able to tell you the number of incidents, crime incidents that have occurred, which haven't even been reported to the police. Now, in terms of people that are in the country illegally, that is the work of the law enforcement officers to deal with. As Statistician General, I have to account for everyone within the borders of South Africa at any given moment. And that's what the law that this country has given me to deal with. And for purposes that if you do not account, say you have a settlement or a locality that has a high number of people that are illegal, and you are not capturing them in the statistics, the risk would be these people want to access water, electricity, they want to access ablution facilities. You can imagine what kind of health challenges you would have. Look at the United States at this stage. President Trump has insisted, other than building, wanting to build a wall like between him and Mexico, between the U.S. and Mexico. He wants to know the number of illegal persons in America, and then he wants to ask the citizenry questions and in a manner that is not methodologically making sense in a statistical sense of view. Now, this case is going from court, the one court to the next. Even now, as we are talking, it's actually being discussed in court. It's because, as a statistician in official practice, you cannot go and ask people their legal status, people who are not citizens.
Well, but I suppose, Mr. Maluleke, that could be the case, all right, for purposes of making sure that you are scientific in your reports and assumptions about the state of play. In your case, you have a fair number of challenges. Even if you tried, you'd not be able to provide all the information in terms of the resources that you need. What is the current situation now? Because we learn of a number of people leaving Stats SA and that you are not able to replace them. What's going on?
Well, you cut your dress according to the cloth. At the stage, it's not secret that Stats SA is underfunded. The compensation of employees budget that we are getting is even less than the warm bodies that we are having. But it's not that alone. We have had to cut down on major programs that we are supposed to let the nation know about. The one issue is this issue of poverty, which we can only give the numbers up to 2015, because there's just no money to do that. The whole issue of violence on women, we are not able to make available reports. We have just withdrawn from publication a report that should have gone and be consumed by members of the public, because it was not making statistical sense based on the fact that the gender unit that we had has actually lost so many critical staff members. We are left with only one staff member.
Well, obviously, we'll take it up. You will take it up with the relevant authorities. Just a quick comment from you. What are the top 5 issues that concern South Africans? Because politicians go around and tell us that people need this, need that, need all different things. But on the basis of your surveys and the research that you've done, what are the key issues that South Africans want to see government act on?
It's not for the statistician, because we don't measure that. There is no citizen satisfaction survey that we run nationally. It's only in one province where we have run the citizen satisfaction survey, as Stats SA, on 2 occasions, and that's in KwaZulu-Natal. So I can only talk about what the people of KwaZulu-Natal are saying. The people of KwaZulu-Natal say they want housing.
Okay.
The people of KwaZulu-Natal say they want a provision of water. They have connections of water, but they are not satisfied with water. Women in KwaZulu-Natal and youth in KwaZulu-Natal say they want education. They want access to facilities of education. And the men in KwaZulu-Natal are saying, sort out the environment for doing business, for their ability to do business. These are the things that we have gone to measure. But otherwise, I wouldn't speculate, because you need a citizen satisfaction survey. As regards from the numbers that we produce, it's not the remit of the Statistician General to go and say to the nation, these are the 5 things that the nation should focus on.
Well, my analysts will tell me more. At least they are entitled to expressing their opinions on a variety of matters. But thank you very much for sharing with us the insights from your surveys. Much appreciated. That's Resenga Maluleke, the Statistician General, who paid us a visit. And after the break, we will be turning to the big political issues facing the nation. How should President Cyril Ramaphosa navigate his way forward? That's the question.